from there. Don't get in my space. You can sail it from there. Learn to give up control. Can't give up control, you're not in control. Do you want me to go over what we do so you're a little clear in your mind?
Yes, I need a vocabulary.
Okay, good. We're here to help the horse understand what's acceptable and not acceptable behavior in the world that we have created, false world, as I know it.
Okay.
Because I'm doing the work. What my body and my reins, the pressure I put on my legs. So I'm basically riding the horse. The principle is this. We were programmed, horses don't have problems, horses have people problems. We have been programmed to fail. Be perfect, accomplish the goal. Trouble. What we're doing here is this. We were never taught the mental tools. Patience, timing, field problem solving, anger management, trust, respect, discipline. At the same time, our pressure threshold has been brought down. Why? Because when we were committed, because we're more emotional than logical, we weren't able to accomplish the pictures that we were told to accomplish to the level in which they wanted us to. Every time that happened, we got hit over the head with a 2x4. Survival being our main instinct, that was endangering our well-being, which is the whole idea behind it. They're using survival as a fulcrum, they're using pressure to intimidate. What we do here is use survival as a fulcrum, which is your main instinct, but we use pressure to communicate. Within each one of us, we have what I call a negative positive pole, like a car battery. Negative pole goes up, it sends a message to the brain, whatever's happening is not beneficial to my well-being, i.e. survival. So what I do here is I use pressure to communicate with the horse by pushing his negative pole up. What the horse then has the opportunity to do is solve the problem. Patience, timing, i.e. practice the tools to accomplish the goal. The pressure that is created from that interaction is pushing his negative pole, or raising his pressure threshold up. So you want to have proficient mental tools equal to the pressure threshold. One can't be higher than the other because it doesn't function. You need to balance the both things. The goal is just the reason for the journey. And the more proficient we are at the tools, the more control we can give up. The more control we give up, the more we are in control. Because to give up control, you have to be in control. And to replace that control that we had is self-esteem.
Okay.
Now, when you finally accomplish the goal, you feel really good. You perceive that the reason why you feel good is because you accomplished the goal, i.e. you didn't get hit over the head with a 2x4. This is not necessarily logical stuff, this is subconscious. Kind of like riding the bicycle. You don't have to practice riding a bicycle once you've learned, as frightening as it was when you were learning, because it goes into the subconscious. This programming was done to us at a very early age, which is you either learn to overreact or underreact instead of what the situation is telling you to do. I call that the tyrant mindset. What the byproduct of this is the alpha mindset. How can I help you? So, when she's not doing my picture, which I love, because when she's not doing my picture, she's doing tyrant. She's doing what she wants to do. Okay. And therefore I get to simulate what can happen to her in our world when she acts that way. Which means to say, to get her negative pole back down because of the pressure I'm creating, she now has to solve the problem. I.e. that's why we don't have anything attached. My crush is gone, but so is hers. So we're no longer using quote-unquote the slavery method of training. So I'm using pressure to communicate with her, and as soon as she gives me not the picture, but the mindset needed to the picture, I release the pressure completely, which causes the negative pole to go down, which is saying that she's okay, and therefore what we are doing is working on the mindset, not the actions. So we're not working on the structure, the seen thing, but we're using the seen thing, the structure, to work on the unseen thing, the foundation. And the byproduct is the structure. Unlike what we normally do, which is work on the structure, the byproduct is the foundation. So we're focusing consciously on the foundation using the structure. I.e. there are only 4 things you need to teach your horse: movement, direction, rhythm, and track. So you're going to have a roll, go ahead and have a roll. So when she's ready, I'm going to start off by doing all 4 things with her. Understand this. it is highly recommended for you at some point, sooner than later, to come and do this work with us, not just your horse. Or else, it is not fair on your horse to do this without you doing this, because the horse is no one with the problem. But the reason we start with the horse is, so she has an idea, so when you do come in, she has more of an understanding than not.
Okay.
So, with all of that said, again, if there's anything that I'm doing that you don't understand or don't care for, open your mouth and say so. Rule number 1, there are no rules. Rule number 2, your safety. Keep yourself safe, the horse is going to be safe. Rule number 3, horse's safety. 4, conservation. Horse's conservation, your conservation. 5, see rule number 1, there are no rules. My body, my reins, pressure put on my legs.
Conservation.
Conservation. Spirit. You don't want to break a spirit.
Okay.
You understand?
Oh yeah.
We are the stewards, and we're here to help the horse survive by teaching them the tools. Now, the first thing I do is balance myself off in the round pen, find the middle of the round pen. I'll give you an example. Notice right now, my negative pull is up. Just a little bit, but it's up.
Huh.
Why? Because she's in my
In your
space.
space. Yeah.
It's not that I'm threatened by her. I don't have a choice. Peace of mind comes from keeping your poles balanced. And you might say, well, I want you to be in my space, I love you, but if that goes up, you respond to it. Be honest with yourself. If you want her to have respect for you, you gotta have respect for yourself. Listen to that. Why did I stop there? Why didn't I ask her to go back more? What caused me to get off there in the first place? What caused me to get off there in the first place?
She was in your space.
No. How do I know she was in my space?
You can see her.
Nope.
Because she was facing you?
My negative pull was up. I can feel my negative pull going up. So that's saying to me that something isn't beneficial to my well-being. You understand? And what it was her in my space. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore I apply pressure. How much pressure do I apply? The least amount to start with. Why?
Okay.
Because I don't want to startle her. So I apply the least amount. If she doesn't move, it's not because she doesn't want to move, but the pressure that's being put on her mentally to stand there is greater than the pressure I'm putting on her, whether it's nature or nurture. Do you understand?
Yes.
So what we have to do is push the negative pole up enough till the pressure she's feeling from me is greater than what she's imagining. And the reason why she's standing there and not moving the first time that I apply the least amount of pressure is more than likely because she feels that if she moves, it's not beneficial to her well-being, i.e. I'm going to die, whether it's physically or mentally. Whether that's true or not, that's the theory that we work off of. All of a sudden, when I push the pressure up greater than what she's imagining, how do I know when that happens? When she backs off. Guess what she suddenly realizes? I didn't die.
Yeah.
At the same time, we're raising a pressure threshold up. At the same time, we're simulating pressure in the world we live in. Because it's not the car that's the problem, but the pressure created by the car. It's not the tractor, but the pressure created. It's the pressure created. So at that moment, when the pressure was greater than what she's imagining, how do I know? Because she backed off. She didn't die. At that moment, she started to trust whom?
Herself.
Herself to trust who?
To trust herself.
She's trusting herself to trust.
Oh, to trust you. Okay.
You understand? At the same time, I'm trying to trust me to trust her. At the same time, we're communicating. And she started to learn where the boundaries are. You know, I'm respecting my space. Now she's learning to respect herself, to not have that pressure put on her, and also know where to be. We're communicating. It's not about me, it's not about her, it's about the picture. The picture is, stand over there. How do I know? Because of this. You're just a conduit. Stop blocking the flow. The more you block the flow, the more shit's gonna happen, the more you're gonna buy the hack, which is what they want you to do. So, with that said, any questions?
Not yet.
Good. Movement, direction, rhythm, track. I don't care which direction, the rhythm is a trot on the rail. She picked that direction, we're gonna go in that direction. Got direction? Now pick up your trot. On the rail. On the rail. Hey! On the rail. On the rail.